Look how pretty that is. Look at that shine and shimmer. Well, today's webisode, we not only have some new papers, we also have paper toll. And at the end, I'm going to tell you how you're going to get bonus paper toll just by buying the Money Saver. So please, come play with us. Well, we have kind of two collections today. We have Sweet Life papers, and we have Sweet Treats Dazzles, and we have Sweet Life foiled paper toll. But then we discovered that the confetti play also did a nice job with the Sweet Life. So we'll be pairing these together, but we're going to start off with brand new paper painting. Now, these papers, they're 8.5 by 11. They're single-sided. You get 16 sheets, and we're pairing them with the Stolen Moments paper toll. So let me bring back that first project that Teresa did. We'll get in closer. Thank you, Steve. And as you can see, that foiling is just gorgeous. Now, let me show you what papers Teresa used. Now, the background, now this is her 5 by 6.5 inch card. The background, she used the teal area of this first sheet that you saw, and that just worked very nicely. Then the stripe comes from this sheet, and it works so well to be horizontal or vertical. You can do it either way. And then she also die cut this piece, this marbled piece right here, and she used, of course, our 12 circles and scallops, just such a basic, wonderful die set. So this she used to create that circle. And then she went into a solid cardstock. This is the nesting place, and you can see that burgundy piece that's right there on the back. She did that with the scalloped piece, and it just worked out very nicely. Oh, one other thing I should tell you, this stripe, she also matted back on this piece, and then she wrapped the ribbon. Now, the ribbon comes from the light pink ribbon collection, and that worked just nicely. I love the bow there. Teresa also always does a great job. Now, also on the front of her piece, let me show you the paper toll and just how that works. We've been showing these because they are so, well, number one, we love the fact that they're die cut, don't we? But the other thing is that the foiled ones have this wonderful shine to them, but there's also something else going on, and probably when you get yours you'll really see it. But many of the areas have a different foiling look behind them. Obviously the art is different, but this one has kind of a starburst going behind it, which just really captures the light beautifully. But this area doesn't have that starburst. It is more kind of just a texture. And the company that does this for us is in England, and they have a proprietary device, a mechanism that does this, so we're very happy to have them. Now, the paper toll, foil or plain paper, has always images. There's always one large one, and it's always designated by a number 1. In this case, it's a number 1 pink. So this gets popped out, as you can kind of see. I've done that there. Then the number 2 pink is going to get foam taped on top. The number 3 pink will get foam taped onto the matching art. It's always onto the matching art. Now, this has the gramophone, it has this big circle embellishment, and it also has the typewriter. So we'll be showing you these. Now, you can layer them. You do need foam tape. We love our great big roll. You can also use the smaller 144 1/4-inch squares of foam tape, so whichever you like. Now, what Teresa did on this piece is a couple of different things that I really, really appreciate. And one is that the blank area, now she could have used the Stolen Moments. Do you remember seeing that right there? Also the name of the sheet, but she elected not to use that, and she did the Dazzles, and this of course is the tiny words and phrases, and that comes in black, white, gold, and silver. She used the brown there. And then do you see the pearls? They are a brand new thing that we have from Hunky Dory, and this is called Classic is the name of it. It is the white pearls. Now these come on a 38-inch length piece, and they come in a row of 4. And what Teresa has done, she has just snipped them off and placed the 4 there, and all around that medallion. Now you can do them in a row of 4 of them and maybe make a border, or you can do them like Teresa's done, or you can use them individually. So just a lot going on there. And then she has used the pink sparkles embellishments right there from Hunky Dory also. So you've got just a beautiful front. Now let's go to the inside and see what she's done. Now here she has used that gramophone that I was talking about. Again, it has 3 layers. I do have a tip for you. If you don't want to use all 3 layers on one project, you can separate them. For instance, you could take the gramophone and use that, and then the number 3 piece on top, and save this piece for another project. So it's as you like. Of course it is. Now what she has used inside is 2 more sheets from that nesting place cardstock, but then this very interesting, very pretty paper is also part of the collection. And that's right back there. The brown was done with the circle cutting die. And then she also added, just to reinforce that shine, some of the thin line Dazzles there, and 2 rows down there. It, like the Tiny Words and Phrases, comes with several colors in one package. And that just works so nicely. So that's our very first of the paper painting and the stolen moments. I do have another, and let me show you. And Teresa used that typewriter, which I just particularly love. Now, this is in our center step cards. Now, we have those in 2 ways, and it's just really nice to have that as an option. Teresa used the cutting die. And here is the center step cutting die. It's 1 big piece. We do give you, as always, complete directions and folding on the back. And Teresa, we also do have these as die cut cards, so you can get them either way if you want to do your own. Now what Teresa did is she die cut a green for her base, kind of a teal actually, and she used the Ethereal Bouquets cardstock, and you can see it right there, just all of those beautiful colors. And with that cardstock, it allows you to create the card base, and that's what Teresa has done. You can see it right there. So very nice. Now she went back into the papers, as you can see. And let me bring them out just so you get a close look. Here is the piece that she used on the front of the card. And as you probably remember, the stripe is still very useful because you're just using bits of it, and that was used on the sides. Now, if you get the die cut cards, you're going to get a pattern that you can use. But to do the die cut, to use the cutting die, Teresa has given us this pattern, and this is for the front paper pattern, so it's right here. This we will put on the instructions. You can get them down below. Just click on this card and that download will be there. But we'll also put it onto the cutting die. That way you've got it whichever way you elect to choose. Okay, now as you can see, Teresa just did all of the pieces exactly as they're shown here. So that's our number 1. Our number number 2 is the happy, so that's going to go on top of the happy here. And then 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 is HAPPY, so those are individual, just like typewriter keys. And number 8 is the typewriter to give us some dimension there. So that's really pretty. And in this case, Teresa used the script Dazzles to do the birthday greetings. So it reads, Happy Birthday Wishes. That works just really nicely. Now the script greetings, there are 500 there, and black, white, gold, silver, and that's just going to do you well for quite a while. Now she has also used, do you see the fancy border down there? There's another one up there, and that comes from the Fancy Border Dazzles. These are pearl and pastel. In fact, this is the color that she used. I'm not sure that you're going to see this one on the camera, but in person I can really see it, and right down there, right along that piece of the cardstock. Then inside, she has used, let me bring this out, this paper. I think I've almost shown you all the papers now, and you can see the border that she used go down into the inside of her card, and again some of the cardstock. Now this is a label, and what Teresa elected to use is our 8 labels for your greetings. Again, just kind of like the circle dies, just a very basic, something you can use again and again forever. And you can see that this is the die that she used right here. She used that on the same paper that we talked about earlier. And then also this is the Fancy Borders dies there. This is out of that same script greetings, Dazzles. And then she has added some of our silver jewel Dazzles, these circles that are blinding you right now, but individually they add a really nice pop to the pieces. So that is our second one of the stolen moments. Okay, now we're going to get into the Sweet Life. Now the Sweet Life, let's see, let me bring in the first card. And this has got something different going on, and Teresa just generally surprises us with that. But that shiny piece that you're seeing, well, that is in the Secret Life paper towel. Just like the Stolen Moments, it is also foil. So let me just wiggle that so you can see all of that beautiful shine. Now, let me open this card because it has a surprise. So you make me smile, thinking of you. Those are Dazzles. But when I open this, this pulls up and this will pull out. And so I've got an ice cream sundae, which is always fun. We've got lots of things going on. Now, you can stand this up like this. But what really helps is this piece on the back that Teresa's given us. So you can see it's almost a smaller version of what's going on in the front, but that will allow this to stand up perfectly. And when it stands up, it looks like that. So really, really fun. I've not seen this kind of card before, but you are getting a nice look at some of the papers, aren't you? Okay, let me show you how Teresa did this. And we are going to start with our regular 5 by 6.5 inch card, and you will go to the front piece, measure half in, so it's a 2.5 inches. Then you're going to score it, and then you'll want to use a bone folder to really secure that fold and make it nice and tight. Okay, now we're going to be using it like this, so kind of different, but that's going to create the base for our card. Now we're going to do a couple of other things. This piece that attaches back here, right there, this is a piece that measures 8.5 by 5. And then you're going to also go in the middle, so that's going to be 4 1/4. Score it, use the bone folder, and then you've got a 5 by 4 1/4 inch card. Now, this is going to get attached to your card after we complete the inside. So we'll set that aside for right now. Now that little easel, okay, that is made out of another piece of cardstock. Now, Teresa used white for everything. This measures 11 by 3 inches, and then you need to do some scoring. So measure 1/2 inch from the left, 1.5 inches, and 2.5 inches, and then 6 3/4. Then you will want to put the extra sticky tape on this flap, okay, and then you're going to do valley, mountain, valley. Those are the folds, V, mountain, valley. And then this, of course, just goes in half, so that's a valley. And then what's going to happen is that this is going to secure You've got the tape. How about if I just lift that off and position it on that flap? Okay, just like that. And that's going to go up. Then this is going to get attached to the back of your card, and you want to put the extra sticky tape on it. You can do that at any point. Just want to position it on the back, and that way your little stand will be secure and it will hold on. Okay, so those are the 3 pieces. Now let's get back to our card and see what happens. Okay, so these are the pieces. Now the Sweet Life is 12 by 12 paper. They are double-sided, and let me show you what's going on. So in the front, she has used this kind of raspberry paper. She also used the brown dot that's going on the inside of her card, and that, whoops, we need the orange. Okay, well, I will have to look for it. Well, I guess you can really see it here, can't you? So this is an orange. It's kind of like the raspberry. So I guess we have lots of fruits going on and a lime. So you're going to cut the paper. Teresa has the directions down below. Don't you just love that? But you can see that we are allowing the card to be the mat on these papers. So the same paper is used on both of those sections. Okay, we'll scoot these over. Then you want to go ahead and do the back or the inside of your card with that brown dot. That way you are ready to place this piece. Okay. Now, before we go any further, let's complete this piece for our Sweet Life. And just like before, we're going to take this number 1, which is blue. The number 2, this is going to have more pieces because each of these gets an element to go on top of it. And just like the Stolen Moments, these have different foiling designs behind them. Okay, so you can see kind of that starburst, a bigger starburst than what we saw before. We've got some swirls that are going on that swirl. We've got some fun things going on, and You're the Sweetest is what this says. However, we've given you another one that is blank, and that's what Teresa used. So she placed that on top of the matching art and added Dazzles. So the Dazzles that she chose are the inside out. And the idea is like, it would say, "You make me smile," maybe on the front of your card. Inside, it would say, "Thinking of you." Or you might use "Sending warm thoughts," "Thinking of you," whatever you like. There are lots of options, but they're all on the individual sheets. Now, this happens to be the card inside and outside primary colors. We also have them in just black, so you get lots of options. Okay, so the other thing that Teresa has added, do you see the borders? That is the white border Dazzles. And just like the foil, it has a silver foiled edge. So it just does a really nice job right there and right there. And then putting this. Now, when you glue this down, you want to make sure that you only attach the bottom part. So kind of from the banner back, that's going to work perfectly, because this needs to stay loose to take in this little piece. So just like that, okay? So you just want to position that carefully. Let me get this out of the way. And then this little piece, remember, that we made, that is a total of 5 by 4 1/4. It's going to get placed right on your card. Now this is going to get glued. Again, you can use the extra sticky tape, and that's going to get attached right on top of that brown, which is why you want to do the brown and the white Dazzles first before you attach this. Makes sense? And then as you can see, the fold of this little piece is equal to the top of the card, so they match perfectly, just like that. Okay? Now, this also has the piece that I showed you at first. Oh, there's my orange, was hiding. Okay, there's the raspberry, there's the orange, silly me, and there's the brown. And what she has used here is some of the extra art. I haven't mentioned that. There's usually extra art on the paper towel sheets. So each of these is labeled as extra art, and she found the perfect place for them right there. Isn't that nice? Now, the You Make Me Smile and the butterflies, that's all part of the Inside Out Dazzles. Again, the white border just reinforces and carries that design across the top. That works really nicely. Inside, well, this is another one that Teresa used. There is the lime dot, and this is another of the pieces on the paper towel. We've got that sundae, and you can see those layers, and those are options for you, and just placed right there. So we've got quite a few things going on. And just to show, these are the papers that we used here. Here are the back sides of them, where Teresa didn't use them, but I just absolutely love this colorful micro dot. This is a border, and you've got ice cream cones there, and there is an all-over pattern with hearts and sweet treats and ice cream cones on top of that. So you can see lots of goodies there. Okay, so this is the first of our Sweet Life with our papers and our paper towel. Okay, let's go here. And I don't know if I mentioned it, maybe I did, but we do have Sweet Treats Dazzles. Well, that just really goes with the Sweet Life paper, don't you think? And Teresa thought so too. And here is the slimline card that she has made. And she has used, this is the paper on the front, and there's the back side of that, just to show you what's happening. And this is another raspberry, dark raspberry. Now the dazzles that she's chosen on the sheet, you can see that there's a border of cherries, and she just laid them across there. Of course, again, she's letting the card be the mat to the paper. And she did add this piece, which I think was interesting. It kind of spotlights that ice cream sundae. And she also did some other things with those dazzles. Let me bring in the whole dazzle sheet for you, just so you can see everything in that wonderful chocolate brown. And we do talk on the Dazzle package that you can back them with paper, and that's what Teresa has done. Remember those tiny dots I just showed you? Well, she used that. She used the orange that we had. So all of these come from the paper collection, and all you'll do is to take, let me see, let me grab, I'm looking for a paper to use. Let's see, here we go. So these are the scissors, or type of scissors you want to have. They have a short blade. These are only 4.5 inches long altogether. So the blade is probably like 2.5 inches, but it allows you to cut around the dazzles. So let me bring out the dazzle sheet. Here it is. And so what you'll do, in fact, I'll just do it on this sheet just to make it easy. So if you wanted to make that a vanilla, I could just lift this up. There I would have my dazzle. Okay, I would place it on my paper. And Steve, we're going to need to get in close to show this. So then I'll take my scissors, and first I'm going to just whack this out, because I don't want to have all that paper kind of in my way. And then when you're doing fussy cutting or cutting like this, you want to try to keep your scissors straight and move your paper. And then you kind of keep it in just right on the blade, of course. Now what happens is that the scissors almost guide you along the edge of those dazzles, just like so. So you just go right along the edge. Can you see that I'm turning the paper and I'm leaving the scissors pretty much in the same place, same position? Okay, so you just go right along that, and it's just no big deal. Okay, so that's what you'll do, and that's how you back this onto pattern paper. Of course, that's our favorite, and the trick is those scissors and just taking your time, of course. So here we go. Now, she did foam tape this piece up. You're So Sweet's also on the Dazzles, those little bonbons, and the pinwheel is there too, as well as the candies. On the inside, she used the green dot, you saw that earlier, and then she's used more Dazzles, but she's also created this pocket. And I thought it was really clever to have a Baskin-Robbins gift card in there. And what she used for that is a download. So I just wanted to share it with you. So there's the pocket pattern. With Teresa, you always cut on the straight lines and you fold on the broken lines, the dotted lines. And when you fold that back, you'll want to put extra sticky tape on all of those flaps and position it on the inside of your card. Well, of course, you're going to place that paper first. But when you do that, that's really going to stay, and it's going to create a nice little pocket to hold whatever you want to place inside. Now again, Teresa likes to use the cardstock as a mat. So she's given us a pocket paper pattern. Say that 3 times fast. Pocket paper pattern. And that's going to be with the orange paper. And just worked really, really nicely. So I hope you like the fact that the sweet treats work nicely with the sweet life. I have one more project for you from our talented Teresa. And here we go. Now this too, we'll back up just a tad, Steve. This too has some fun things going on. Now this is from the Confetti Play paper towel. Now this is a paper towel. It is not a foil, but it does a really nice job, and you can see what the play is all about. Now on this card, Teresa's created a window on the front, and look what happens when I open it. How fun is that? We've got 3 panels, and on 2 of them she has used the paper towel. So let me show you how she's done this. And she started with our regular 5 by 6.5 inch card. So if I were to fold that, that's what it would look like. You do get it flat because you get the envelopes with it. So what Teresa did is she wanted to leave a flap on here. So she measured 4.5 inches from the left and made a mark and then cut along there. So that way she had a piece that's going to work for this project. Then she put 1/2 inch extra sticky tape along the flap, okay? Then she die cut it, and she is using, we used the circle dies earlier, but this time she's using the rectangle dies and scallops. So both of them are going to be used, both the rectangle and the scallop rectangle. So then she ran this through die cutting machine and did the rectangle. So that worked nicely. And I'm going to set that aside. And then I'm going to go to the next piece, which is just our regular card. And what you'll want to do is be sure to put your paper on it. So I guess I should show you that paper, shouldn't I? There we go. There is the piece. I showed you that earlier, I believe. And that has the little border at the bottom. And so she just cut a piece, glued it here, and then after you glue it, look how fun that she did. She covered up the border, inside the border, with a scalloped and created a frame around that. So that's really nice. But you want to make sure to get this attached before you do the paper, okay? And you can see why right there. So this is going to get attached. So here's my regular card. My fold is on the left. I'm going to attach this onto the outside edge, like so, so that I have that flap. Then I'm going to put my paper down, my teal paper with the border is going to go right there. That makes sense, that we cover that up. That way, when you open up, you don't have any little hinges showing on the inside. Okay, so back to this. We have our frame out of the light green, and we also have our tree, our wonderful tree. The Just For You, well, that's more of the greeting dazzles, but this happens to be the primary colors, and that's where you're going to get the reds and the blues, and you also get black in there, but you're going to get yellow and blue, and let me show you the yellow. There you go. So all of those primary colors, and the Just For You goes right along there, works nicely. This has got the brown dot, we saw that earlier. The larger piece is the lighter brown out of the cardstock, and little bows down there. I thought that was a nice touch, and that's just out of the brown ribbons, so that's fun to do. These little dazzles are extra pieces out of the script greetings, so that's nice. And again, this has got, well, this has got multiple layers. So this has got 4 layers. So you've got the tree, the tire swing, as well as the different pieces to layer onto that tree. So that works nicely. Okay, let's go inside our card now. And there you go. Now this is the same paper. See the borders down there? She put the border on top, so that's nice. And that this kite just does a really nice job of fitting there. You know, it would work great on a slimline card too. And it too has lots of pieces because each of those little ribbons on the tail has an extra piece. And we've got the different clouds as well as the kite on top. So that's really fun. She didn't use the happy day, so you have that. She didn't use everything on the paper tolls, but just wanted to show these to you. Now, here's that paper I showed you before. You see it on the front of the package. Happy birthday is still the script greetings. There is a border that I showed you. And we've got the raspberry paper back there. So that works really nice. I like the confetti going out. That's again on the script greeting dazzles. So how fun is that? 3 panels, very easy. Nice technique to remember for different cards. Now, okay, that's everything, but let me just recap for you. So we have the Sweet Life papers, 12 by 12 papers. We have, and double-sided papers. We have the Sweet Life foil paper toll. We have Sweet Treats dazzles. And because they match so well, we have the confetti play. Now we also have the beautiful paper painting as well as stolen moments. Now the bonus, if you get the money saver with all of these, is you are going to get an extra stolen moments, an extra confetti play, and an extra Sweet Life for free. Did I say that? For free. So that makes it just a wonderful bargain. I just love sharing that with you. So that's an extra free $13 and 2 paper collections. We are in very limited supply with the paper painting. So I just want you to know that. And of course, dazzles are just always fun. So that is our money saver and our webisode today. If you're seeing this on YouTube, you can go down below. You can click and come on over to paperwishes.com. Take advantage of that money saver. Get the 3 free paper tolls in addition to it. And look at the instructions because those are so helpful. And Teresa does a nice job. Plus, we've got the downloads for you. And all of this at paperwishes.com. We love to inspire your creative spirit. And I want to thank you for joining me. We'll see you next time.